Hi, this is Dr. Erica, and I'm here to talk with parents of trans and gender creative children about the experience we've had in the last 2 years of really extraordinary times during the pandemic. If you're like most families, your children have spent an unusually high amount of hours on devices and on the internet and have experienced a significant level of social isolation, which arguably is not good for anyone. It's particularly not good for kids who are trying to figure out who they are in their identity, most especially their gender identity. And what I have had in the last months is many discussions with parents about their concern that perhaps the recent disclosure of a gender identity different than how they understood their child was influenced, at least in part, by the high proportion of time that they spent socially on the internet, not in real life with real people in proximity to them. And so I have to admit, we've never been in this kind of experience before. We don't really know what all the effects may have been of this time in terms of social development, particularly gender identity development. And so it's more important than ever for us to recognize that in approaching any individual child, we need to be affirming, and we also need to be thoughtful about evaluating the totality of their experience and their development. And so rather than dismiss something as a byproduct of peer influence solely, we need to examine whether there might be some other factors. I share your concern about undue influence, perhaps, of social media. And certainly it is widely recognized that teenagers are influenced significantly by their peers. So in this era of rapid exploration of sexual identity and gender identity, it's not surprising that many kids have been paying attention to lots of things on social media and on the internet, and we still really don't know what the impact of that is. This is not to say that a child who's asserting a gender different than the way we knew them is not sincere, or that it isn't, in fact, important to affirm and accept what they say. But it also doesn't mean we abdicate our responsibility as parents, or in my case, as a psychologist, and just figure that, okay, this is just true, and we just run with that. That isn't how I approach it. I approach it holistically, individualistically with every child. Every child deserves to be loved and accepted. And I know that you, as a conscientious parent watching this, are trying to do exactly that. And I want to help you. Thanks for listening.